You talking about World War One?
Oh shit. Paola won award.
What?
I don't know, it said.
So what you do now, let's say you're copying down these definitions that are up here, okay? And then you're trying to come up with an example for each one.
Are we gonna use the computers?
No.
Are we gonna use notebooks?
Nope, just the packets that you picked up.
And just after I'm done with this, after I'm done copying this, then can I edit my notebooks? Can I use my computer with this? See somewhere else.
You really don't need to do that right now, so need you in here. And what's up? I need a rock star date from you, okay? Hey, your name.
Oh yeah.
This weekend, Thursday? Okay. Pick up this regular one from the Hold up. Please, Leslie, we're going to start with your do now right away. So guys, when you get to your seats, just start copying down those definitions, okay? And you're trying to come up with examples
You're tough.
for each one of those.
Look in the seats.
I'm on there.
I think it's still in your ear.
Hey,
No,
Allie.
it's It is. I need to show these to Mr.
Started over here.
Oh, Will we get this?
It's your
Just kidding.
These two.
Which one?
These two, and we're starting with this.
Video I posted on Snapchat. The one with posted. No, see, it looks like this one broke. Look at the video, bro.
Alright, thank you all for getting your seats silent and already almost done copying down your definitions.
What'd
You got here a little bit earlier, so it's okay. Let's take our seats, please. Thank you, Natalie. right, so second period, what we're doing right now is we're copying down these definitions for the main causes of World War I, which is the topic that we're going to be discussing today. In addition to writing down the definitions, I want you all to try to come up with at least one example of where you've seen these terms before in either your daily life, so something like relatable to these terms, or like something that you've heard about on the news, something that you've read about in history class. To help you guys out with understanding these terms, maybe the definitions aren't clear enough, there's pictures for each one on the next page. So please look at those pictures if you're still confused. I'd recommend that everyone looks at them anyway. But I'm going to give us 5 minutes to get those definitions down. I want everyone to come up with at least one example for each of these terms, okay? This thing smaller for 1 second while I take attendance real quick. So Brian, Jameson, Victor, Lucio, Andre, Wandra, Leslie, Dan, Ryan, Kevin, Lyra, Natalie, Kathy, Gianna. Right? This will be good. I mean, if it's big again, I'm going to give us 5 minutes to get those examples and definitions down. Remember, please use those pictures, guys, on the next page. I think it's really going to help you understand what these terms mean, help you come up with an example of maybe where you've seen this before in your daily life as a high school student, or something, again, that you've heard about on the news, something you learned about in history class. If you're having trouble coming up with an example for one of these terms, just move on to one that might be easier for you. So I think alliances and nationalism are both things that we have heard about before or seen about. I think imperialism is definitely something that we've learned about in this class, so if you can think of some specific examples there. Let's go about 3 more minutes to come up with your own examples, and then we'll discuss as a group. Again, use those pictures to help you think about examples that you've seen in your life.
I'll go up there for good. Huh? Yeah.
Alright. We're going to go over this do now together, guys, now. Okay, so let's turn off our voices. Track me up front in 3, 2. Thanks, Jameson, for tracking silently. Thanks, Alondra, for tracking silently. Thanks for turning this conversation off, guys. Okay, so today, if you didn't realize it already, we're going to be talking about the causes of World War I. And so those causes are what we just wrote our definitions for. They're militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Okay? So before we move forward with our lesson today, I know these are new terms, I want to hear if we were able to come up with some good examples of what we've seen in real life that relate to these topics. Okay? And then based off what I hear, we'll either talk about them a little bit more or we'll just move on quickly. Okay? So for militarism, Leslie, did you come up with an example for militarism? Okay. Victor, did you come up with one? I saw you had one. I want to hear it. This is good.
We're like, we run this squad, I have to do the group, so you can attack the players.
Yeah, so in Fortnite, this video game, right? When you group up and you make like a big team, is that kind of what happens? Right?
You make a big team.
We could also kind of use that for alliances too, but I can see how like building up an army, that has to do with military. Hold on. Thank you. Jameson, yeah, do you have an example?
I do, but you took Fortnite?
No.
Oh.
Do you have an example? Give us your example, Jameson.
I'm not really sure if it really counts, but after the Great Depression, World War II kind of got people to build up military.
After World War II?
No, like before the Great Depression.
I'm not sure if the Great Depression caused.
I'm so wrong. I'm sorry.
No, you're not wrong. So, guys, second period. Listen up. So I thought that this might be a term that we struggle with. So I have a quick video to kind of explain what militarism is. So let's just watch this.
Yeah, why don't you play Fortnite?
He does. It's fine.
Hey.
Hold on. Second period. Listen up. We need to get serious here right now, okay? You might hear something in this video that you think is funny the way that this guy sounds. Let's make sure that we're being respectful of other people's cultures and their languages, no matter what it is, okay? I really don't want to hear too much silliness right now. Okay, so let's be respectful. This video is going to show you some visuals, more visuals of what militarism looked like in today's world. So this is going to show you guys North Korea and their examples of
영원히
militarism.
싸워 나갔다.
So after seeing that video, I want to see if we kind of have a better understanding now. So Natalie, in your own words, can you describe a little bit about what you think militarism is? Not the definition that you wrote down, but in your own words, describe it.
I said military means gaining power.
Gaining power for war? Natalie, what did you say? What do you think militarism is after seeing the video and the definition?
Getting people to become more powerful for the war.
Andre, what do you think?
Militarism is more like just preparing for war. It's just like a huge congregation of military leaders and personality that always show the muscle and prepare for war.
Love it. Yeah. So
So it's like a show, but
it's like a show, but it's more than a show. Like the countries that participate in militarism really are building up their military to prepare for if war broke out. So like for example, what we just saw was North Korea showing off or flexing their muscles, as Andre said, showing off their tanks, showing off their nukes, that sort of thing. So that's what militarism is, and that's what the countries in Europe were participating in before World War I happened. Let's talk about our next cause, so alliances. Brian, where have you seen Brian A, where have you seen alliances before? Either in the real world or something in history class or on TV? So how does soccer relate to alliances? Hold up, guys. One at a time. Victor. You go next. Okay. So I want you to just stay with us here for a little bit more. So how do soccer players form alliances with one another? What do they do for each other? Right. Okay, I'm going to go Victor and then Kevin. Kevin.
Maybe when like the big disaster breaks out, soccer teams also doing a big game together,
People come together. Okay, Maya and then Yahara, then we're going to move on.
See, it's like when you play paintball and you split it to do different teams, but you got a friend on the other team, you're like, I won't shoot you if you don't shoot me. But then you shoot them anyways because you don't.
Yahara?
I just said like an example, like this is like American friends, like friends. Sorry. Like, isn't it like that? Because it's like they help each other even.
Okay, so I'm going to stop taking for this because we need to move on, but I really loved Maya's example of like playing paintball. If you have a friend on another team and you make an agreement with the other person on the other team that, hey, I won't shoot you, if you don't shoot me. We're going to look out for each other. We're going to protect each other so we both benefit. Okay? So here's my example of alliances. So Marvel's Avengers, right? These heroes, they work together, right? They might not always agree on everything or get along, but they form an agreement to help each other, right? To protect each other and to fight together, right? If one of the Avengers gets attacked by Dr. Octopus or whoever, they're all going to jump in and fight.
What were you watching?
Spider-Man, that was a Spider-Man thing. Okay, all right. Imperialism. Where have we seen imperialism before, Kati?
When the American man's
Natalie, where have you seen imperialism before? Agreed? Okay. Man, where have you seen imperialism?
No, for real, like, zero.
You have a different example?
It's like when, like, there's a business that's booming, but, like, they don't have, like, enough money to support themselves, so your business will just take them over.
Okay. Yeah, so it's basically like countries taking over one another, right? My example would be like a country taking another country's lunch money, right? They kind of like bullying another country, taking their stuff, right? And then finally, we have nationalism. Okay, we're going to hit this one real quick and move on. Brian, where have you seen nationalism before?
I have seen nationalism in
So how does the Olympics relate to nationalism?
because they show their pride for the country.
They show their pride for their country. Perfect. I had the same example as Brian. I was really happy when you said that example. So yeah, so nationalism is just people taking pride in their country. Okay, what I want everyone to do at this time now is take their background essay, which is on the back of your Do Now, so flip over your Do Now to the next page. Okay, and then you should have also, on your way in, picked up a one-page reading packet from the back table. We're going to read through that and get a little bit more practice identifying the key causes of World War I. Okay, so as we're reading, I want you to think about what key cause is being talked about in each paragraph. Okay, so starting at paragraph 1 with the introduction. Dan, can you read the first paragraph for us?
European technology was even its cultural art and music were the impact of the rest of the world. In 1900, Europeans believed the world was their
Okay, what I want everyone to do right now is reread that paragraph and think about which cause are they talking about in that paragraph. Okay, let's take 45 seconds to reread. Think about what cause, so imperialism, nationalism, alliances, is being talked about in that paragraph. And then when you have it, write it down so we know what it is. All right. Yahaira, which cause do you think is being talked about in paragraph 1? So militarism, alliances, imperialism, or nationalism? Not sure? Why do you say imperialism, Victor?
Because this is right here, very controlled vast empires that circle the globe.
Yep, so it controlled vast empires that circled the globe. That would be imperialism. So everybody, go ahead and annotate that paragraph. Just write imperialism off to the side, so that we know what that is. All right, let's keep going here. Andre, can you read the next paragraph for us?
But this feeling was not to last. By the end of 1980, after 4 long years of war, European confidence was badly shaken. 10 million soldiers had died on the battlefield and in military hospitals. Another 20 million soldiers had been wounded. Empires that lasted for centuries lay in tatters. Writers wrote of broken dreams. Europe had entered war riding on the sun. Now, in November of 1918, nobody was saying, let it gone wrong.
Good. Guys, I'm going to give us the answer to question number 2 because just for sake of time, okay, and we need to know this fact. So, number 2, World War II lasted 4 years. The 4 years were 1914 to 1918. Okay, if we get that down for number 2 now, so it lasted from 1914 to 1918. Number 2 on the introduction. Okay. Now we're going to read, we'll wait until pencils stop moving so then we're good to go, and then we're going to read the next section. 1914 to 1918. We're going to skip that. Gianna, can you read Creating a Balance of Power, please?
In the late 19th century, European leaders believed that by creating a balance of power, they could prevent large-scale war. The idea was that if the major powers of Europe, countries like England, France, Russia, and Germany, were balanced in strength, no country could dominate the rest. Out of
Bismarck,
the
Chancellor,
Chancellor of
Prussia.
Russia, who led the unification of German states, had a special state in peace because Germany was sandwiched between Russia and France. The last thing
Bismarck.
Bismarck wanted was to fight a war with France. The solution was to
Good. Everybody go ahead and take 1 minute to answer questions 1 and 2 for that section on your own. Then we'll come back together and discuss as a class. So again, we're identifying which cause they're talking about in this section. 10 more seconds to finish up your thoughts for question number 2. Go ahead and stop your writing now. It looks like all of us identified the correct cause there. So C, they're talking about alliances. These are our alliances up here on the screen for World War II, so take a look up here. So we have France, Great Britain, and Russia on one side, and Italy, Germany, and Austria-Hungary on the other side. OCL, what did you write for question number 2? How might a balance of power, these alliances, actually prevent war from happening?
The balance of power might prevent war because if they were balanced, then no one else could rule over them.
So what do you mean by no one else could rule over them?
Like they wouldn't want to rule over each other because they were equal.
Alondra, what did you write for number 2? John, what did you write for number 2?
I said that, like, one group won't feel like they could overpower all the other groups, and so, like, since they can't really overpower them, they kind of, like, warn it that it would help not much if they, like, didn't know what they were doing.
Perfect, awesome. Really good answers from everybody. I think we have a good understanding of what the alliances were actually for. They weren't to cause war, but rather so that other countries would feel safer because they know that like other countries have their back. So like France wouldn't want to attack Germany because Germany is friends with Austria and Italy, and if France does that, then they're all going to attack France in return, right? Good, let's keep going here with tensions build. Remember, as we're reading, be thinking about what cause are they talking about. Brian, can you read tensions build, please?
Tensions build. The assessment of the alliances could be seen as a working between the balance of power and directly preserve peace with sufficient grand times. Political and military leaders spent countless hours developing time in case a war might break out. Countries built up their armed ships, guns, and missile radars. The tension between the countries has much tension within time, especially in southeastern Europe, an area known as the spirit of nationalism and independence during time. Some ethnic groups revolted. 2 large powers, Austria, Hungary, and Russia, stood by collective pieces of the scheme for the power they always lacked their spark.
Awesome. Look at the first paragraph of that section. Which cause of World War I are they talking about in the first paragraph of tensions build? This is an answer on your questions packet or on your do not packet. So under tensions build, you have multiple choice. Which cause is that first paragraph talking about? Let's take 30 seconds to answer that one. I want to know if we're getting this automatic or if we need to spend a little bit more time. Let's take 10 more seconds to answer that one. All right. So for tensions build in that first paragraph, which cause are they talking about? I want you all to show me with your fingers. So if you chose A, give me a 1. If you chose B, give me a 2. C, give me a 3. D, give me a 4. Okay? Go ahead and show me what you got. So keep them up. Keep them up. Natalie, show me. Which one did you choose? 1 for A, 2 for B, 2 for C. Okay. Did you have 3 or 4? Okay, where did you find evidence for alliances in paragraph 1? Yeah, we're just looking at paragraph 1. Okay, so you read ahead. It looked like everybody picked paragraph 4. Andre said that, or sorry, choice 4, so militarism, and then you kind of were in between both.
I was in between both.
So where did you find evidence for, were you looking at nationalism?
No, I was looking at alliances and
Alliances? Where did you see alliances?
alliances could be seen as ways to maintain the balance of power and thereby preserve peace, but suspicion during time.
Yeah, so that's more like a transition from the last paragraph, but I see where you got that from, right? Which part of it, Kathy, brings up militarism? What piece of evidence showed you militarism? Yep, so countries building up their arms, right? Stockpiling weapons, kind of like how we saw in that North Korea video that we looked at earlier. That would be militarism. Okay, so we have all these underlying causes that are happening, right? That are starting to build towards World War I. Now we're going to talk about the thing that really set it off. I'm going to show you a picture of what that was. Just take a look at this picture that's up here on the screen for just a second. Let's see, what do you see in that picture? You see a lot of people. What are they doing? They're just sitting around.
They're wearing like costumes.
So now we're in costumes. This is a long time ago. Maddie, what do you see in the picture? The guy on the bottom is shooting. Yeah, so they're in like an old car. An old Ferrari. Cool, so let's read about what's going on in this picture, okay? So the spark, Kevin, can you read the spark for us, please?
Otto
Von Bismarck.
von Bismarck, after victory in the late 1800s that some damn Polish thinking the rock would ignite the next World War. In June 1914, the Archduke Francis Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, visited Serbia.
Serbia? Oh, Serbia, yeah.
At that time, Sarajevo belonged to Austria.
Austria-Hungary.
Austria-Hungary.
So I'm just going to stop you right here, okay? So the person that we just saw in the picture, his name is Franz Ferdinand. He's from Austria-Hungary. He's in part of Serbia right now that Austria-Hungary is kind of imperialized, right? So he has this guy from Austria-Hungary is in Serbia. Okay, the Serbians are not happy about it. Go ahead, keep going where you were at, Kevin.
70 Saxons have been sent to Serbia to kill the Archduke by the Serbian nationalist group, the Black Hand. The Black Hand wanted all the Serb people to be in one nation and one in Austria-Hungary.
Keep going, keep back.
On the morning of June 28th, the Archduke's car was instructed to take a nationalist route. As the driver of the car got confused and drove down the road, Gavrilo, Princip, the Serbian Saxons happened to be walking. Princip was unmarried, unemployed, and afflicted with tuberculosis. He expected to die in a year or two. As the car stopped to turn around, Gavrilo Princip shot and killed the Archduke in his body.
Okay, so a Serbian nationalist shot the Archduke of Austria. Okay? Here's what happened next. On July 23rd, Austrian leaders demanded apologies from Serbia. On July 24th, so the next day, Serbia sought help from Russia and received a promise of support if Austria were to attack. Okay? So Russia has lent its support to Serbia. On July 28th, with no further response from the Serbian leaders, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. So Austria, one of their leaders just got shot. They're declaring war on this small country. Okay? In return, Russia declares war on Austria-Hungary. Okay, so Russia declares war on Austria-Hungary. Germany declares war on Russia. France declares war on Germany and Austria-Hungary. And then Great Britain jumps in. And now we have all of this huge part of Europe fighting against one another. So was it, that's a good question, man. What do you guys think? Was it just because one person got shot? Or were there other causes at play? Maya, what do you think? Yeah, so these underlying causes we've been talking about have been building up for a long time. So you have nationalism, militarism, imperialism, right? All these things were brewing, and then the shooting, man, that's the spark that just made everything blow up, and now Europe has erupted in war. Let's go ahead, guys, and flip over on your document packet. You'll see this document right here. It's called The British Octopus. And what we're going to do now is analyze this document, and we're going to try to figure out what cause are they talking about here. So let's do this one together, and then we'll do another one on our own. Okay? So let's start here. I think the best place to start, guys, when we're doing these documents is always look at the source. Okay? So Alondra, what is our source here? What? Yep, so it's a German propaganda cartoon. Raise your hand in here if you know what propaganda means. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Anybody else says Andre know what propaganda means? Kind of hard to explain. Andre, go ahead and explain to us what is propaganda.
Propaganda is like state-sponsored insults against another country or another group.
Yeah, so it's not always insults against another country, but it is state-sponsored. So usually stuff that the government points out, it can be negative towards another country, or sometimes it can be just positive within a country. So have you guys ever seen that poster of Uncle Sam? Yeah, Uncle Sam, he's like, we want you. Yeah, so that would be like propaganda. That's the United States, advertising for people to join their military. Or even today, you guys seen the Go Army commercials?
Yeah.
Like we're like, oh, jump out of planes and then be a doctor. Like that would be propaganda. Okay? So we know that propaganda is meant to convince people. Okay? So let's look at the point of view next, and then we'll talk about audience and purpose. So this document was told from the perspective of what nationality? Germany. Perfect. And then let's look at the title here. It says, The British Octopus. Right? It says, below it says, freedom of the seas. England is the bloodsucker of the world. That's what Verheid de Meer means. And England der Blutsucker der Welt. So they're saying England is the bloodsucker of the world. How does this, being a German document and their perspective, help us understand the document a little bit better? Alright? Yeah, so this helps us understand the document because Germany is doing what against the British right now? They're fighting, right? So this helps you understand the document because Germany is fighting the British. They probably don't really like. I'm gonna write that there's tension. There's tension. Okay. Who do we think that this document was intended for? German citizens, yeah. And then occasion. So this cartoon was put out, Kathy, what year was it? Okay, so what year then is it in the war? Yeah, so the war started in 1914, so that would mean that it's like the war has been going on for 3 years, so at the time this document was created, World War I had been going on for 3 years. So what I want us to do now is think about what is the subject of this document. So is it depicting British nationalism, imperialism, militarism, or alliances? Okay? Take a minute to analyze the photo with your partner. Think about which cause is being shown here. Go ahead and take a second to talk about it with your partner. Come up with an answer. So circle the one that you think it is. Circle which cause. What's that? I know. Alright, let's come back together, please. So I saw a few different answers here. I saw some of us were thinking maybe nationalism. Yahara, what did you say? Okay. Kevin, let's make sure that our side conversations are off, guys, while we're sharing our answers. Kevin, what did you say?
They're basically expanding their economic control so basically influence
Leslie, why did you say it was imperialism? Yeah, so this octopus, this British octopus, all these tentacles represent different colonies that Britain has at this time, showing Britain's influence, like stretching all the way out from Britain to all these other parts of the world, giving their influence, right? So yes, that would be imperialism, right?
Oh yeah.
So what is the purpose of this document? Brian, what do you think is the purpose of this document?
The purpose of the document was to make England.
Perfect. Yeah, so the purpose of this document is kind of to convince other Germans that England is the bad guy. Good. Let's do one more together, we're going to do one more independently here, and then after that we're going to take your mastery check. Okay, so let's do document 2. I want you all to work on that on your own. I'll be coming around to provide support. If you guys need support, just raise your hand, and I'll come over and help you out. Nice job from Natalie and Maya getting started right away. There's a place for you at the bottom, guys, to circle again which cause you think this document is depicting. So I want to see you guys circling the cause down here at the bottom, okay? Pay attention to where the document is from. So what country is it from? It will tell you in the source. By knowing what country it's from, it will help you figure out who your audience is. What is the definition of analysis? So what are they're saying we could mean? So all right, everybody, go ahead and clear off your desk. I'm going to pass out our mastery check. You can keep the packets. You're just going to turn in your mastery check for today. So So go ahead and clear everything off. Yeah, you can keep the packets from today. You're just going to turn your mastery check at the end. So when you get your mastery check, please make sure that you put your name on it right away. Let's make sure that we are working independently on this right now, guys. So right now, our voices should be off. We have about 5 minutes left to work on this. So 5 minutes of independent work time, and then you guys will be getting out of here, okay?